because we are all Africans, you know that. Every person on the planet comes from them. They are the, what is the first Homo erectus, that is a species which came out of Africa in 2 million years ago. So every human on the planet is African. But we are divided into 5 races like Mongols, Amerindians, and Caucasians, Polynesians, and Africans. So 5 races. So, but everybody is, all the DNA goes there. They are our ancestors.
Thank you.
Our ancestors. Yeah.
No.
They say the most genetic variation you can find in African species. Most genetic variation, noses, the body parts, too many variations in that species. The rest of the species are lesser. So that is African, not African, that is Adam and Eve. All right. So shall we start, Father Christopher? Okay. 4th chapter is integral ecology. 3rd one is judge. He judged the human. You are the troublemaker. You are the rebellious, and you destroyed the planet. So here integral ecology is also judging. At the same time, he is prescribing some medication to heal the planet and heal humans. So here judging is also there, diagnosing and prescribing medication, so that you have to take morning 1 pill, noon 2 pills, and evening 3 pills you have to take. All right? Ready for that? Okay. Here, Pope is finding that the way we conducted business, the business as usual model was divide and rule. You know, British, all the colonization, their principle was divide and rule. When you divide, you pit 2 others into competition, and these people become just a spectator. You both fight and kill each other, these people will clap and entertain. So divide and rule is a kind of an entertainment. So that is what we are really doing. The environment was divided, and all the 3, see there, the environment, economy, society. So we have been divided separately. In other words, the environment is out there, humans are here, and economy is in Kuala Lumpur. So this is how we fragmented. And then it is easy to find fault. Economy blames, society. Society blames the economy, or economy blames politics. Politics blames economy, and nobody thinks that we are destroying the capital. The environment is the capital, and the economy is using it, humanity is using it, and everybody is plundering without realizing that one day it will be gone. So we never realized that. So Pope is giving a new medication now. Now that is the business as usual model. He calls it the integral ecology model. So in the integral ecology model, he says environment, see those 3, economy and society. All of them in only one box. They are not outside, they are not in Kuala Lumpur, they are not in the hall here. The human is in the ecology, environment, and the economy is also in the environment. So in other words, when the economy and humans try to progress or develop according to our imagination, you are plundering your own capital underneath. You are plundering your own base, and you are digging a hole, a grave, and you are going to be buried inside. So that is the alarm. Pope is a whistleblower. So he's telling we are all, that was an illusion. The reality is we are in the same box together. We are three together. It is God, human, creation. Also integral. It is not separate. God is not in heaven and humans are not on earth and creation is not in the purgatory. Everything is together all the time. We are here together. Any separation is an illusion. Illusion. So you understand that? So that is the medication. So he asks us to integrate everything to solve problem. If you fragment, we will never solve any problem. And we will be hanging on to our own positions. He's telling, integrate cultures, Malaysia. In other words, reach the borders. There is no country here. When you come to solve ecological crisis, we are one community of earth. That's it. That's it. There's no differences at all. There are no religions. We are all throwing all those differences and we become integral. And also there are no sciences like physics, chemistry, biology, paleontology, geology. Bring all those integral. I mean, if you specialize on one thing and you argue that you know everything, but what is the use of your knowledge without integrating with other disciplines? And you are thinking that you are very smart. You are alienated. You are alienating others, and in the process we are alienated. So bring everything together, integral. See? So also Christians, don't think this document is for Christians alone. There is only 2 billion people. What about other 5.5 billion people? That is also, he calls it integral. And he writes, I am writing this encyclical for the people of goodwill. That is the word he is using. He is not telling I am writing to Christian people. People of goodwill. So integral. Everything should be integrated in order to solve the problem. So it is a lot of medication you have to swallow. Lots of medication. And comes cultural ecology. Every culture should join. Even though Malaysian culture, Indian culture, everything is unique, very important. At the same time, you come with the cultural knowledge of ecology and environment. Every culture has beautiful writings about preservation, conservation of nature. Bring those texts in your holy books and also literature. You bring all those things, integrate them in solving the ecological crisis. Ecology and daily life, he talks about, what is the life? What are we living? And there is no quality of life. And there is noise pollution going on. You think that is a quality of life? And then you have atmosphere is filled with filth and earth is filth. When you go outside, you smell bad, and most of the places, desertification, destruction of forests, and the water bodies, mosquitoes breeding in many places. Some rivers are smelling, stagnant water. So the quality of life, what are we talking about? And then we are mostly lost all relationships and we are alienated and we are making love to screens. Everybody is making love only to screens, to the glasses. There is no real flesh. There is no feeling. And we are all like robots or cyborg. We have become cyborg, half machine, half human. So that is what the integral ecology means. That ecology and daily life should be lived with nature. We need space. We are not created to inundate it with cement and asphalt. That is what he writes. Human species is not meant to be inundated with asphalt and cement. So we belong to nature, where trees are, green color. I was telling to Michael, whenever we come in the car, for me, it is a big treat to see green color. Green color. The chairs give me happiness. That green shirts give me happiness because I don't see green anymore in India. Everything is brown looking. Sad. Here everything is green. Even the palm trees, they are green, thank God. But it's so beautiful. Both I switch on my camera and film everything in the car. He drives. I put the camera, video completely on roads and trees. Anything is a paradise because I don't have in my country. Sad. India had everything. You know that. India had everything. But now everything has disappeared. I'm afraid India is facing desertification. Yeah, that is what it is. Anyway, human ecology, that is another subject, very important. Pope is writing, all the ecosystems are exhausted. Ecosystem means, you know very well, lake is an ecosystem, mountain is an ecosystem, ocean is an ecosystem, and the desert is an ecosystem, and grasslands ecosystem, tropical rainforest is the ecosystem, then taiga, tundra, boreal, deciduous, chaparral, there are hundreds of ecosystems. So these ecosystems, they have resources, gold, silver, fossil fuel, copper, iron ore, everything. So everything we have taken it all. I told you 80% already taken out for this 150 years. Everything is plundered, coal, fossil fuel, everything. Only 20% is left. So Pope is telling every ecosystem is exhausted, but only one ecosystem is full of resources. That he calls human ecology. In other words, human himself is an ecosystem. Every human is the ecosystem. In India, one sage wrote 2000 years ago, he called outer world called Andam, he called Pindam. Pindam means body. Andam means world. So he told both of them are the same. You are the microcosm of the macrocosm. You are the reflection of the earth. So earth is not out there. Earth is right here. You are the earth. You are the earth. I am the earth. Every creature is the ant is the earth. Exactly 70% of the planet is water. In your body, same ratio. 70% is water. 25% land, and your body contains 25% carbon and atmosphere, fire. So, ant also the same ratio, 70-25. Fish living in the water, 70-25. Tree, 70-25. Even the water contains the same ratio of salt, 3.5%. If you go to doctor, 3.5%, you go and check the ocean, 3.5% salt. So you are the microcosm of the macrocosm. And you know, you look at your body and you look at the back, it looks like a desert ecosystem. It looks like a desert. And you come down here, little mountains are here. And rivers are here. Look at the rivers. And the trees, branches, they are branching out. And you get a small forest here and rainforest here. I think imagination is enough. Yeah. So this is, you are the microcosm of the macrocosm. So you are the earth. Earthquake is not out there. Earthquake is here. When you feel sad, your father died or your friend died, met with an accident, you shake and quake. So tsunami is not out there. The family members have seen tsunami already every day in the family. It is not happening 2004. Every day, throwing stuff and doing all that screaming. And the volcano is not out there. Volcano is here. The greed, the violence, the lust and the selfishness, all of them are volcanoes. It is there. So you are the microcosm of the, you are the earth. You are the earth. So I think we are human ecology. I am the earth. Didn't Bible say God took the soil and he blew, he breathed, and the man became a being? Doesn't it? Bible say that. So God himself says you are the land. You are soil. Your soil unto soil you shall return. In other words, you are the land. Your land means your own resources. Actually, Jesus puts it beautifully 2,000 years ago. He says the wayward soil, the rocky soil, the bushy soil, the good soil. And the disciples were confused. They are confused every time, I know that. They are confused. Thank God they went and asked Jesus, be confused. Very good. I never expected you are confused all the time. Anyway, sit down, I'll explain to you. So he tells them, thank God disciples didn't understand. Then only the truth came out, otherwise we would have never understood. He says, your heart is the soil where the seed is thrown. Yeah. There comes, he refers that you are the land and you are the soil. He says, the good soil thrown in your heart yields 80, 90, 100%. That is what he says. So he is the first ecologist or a geologist one who identifies that human itself is an ecosystem which is having resources like any other ecosystem in nature. So what kind of resources you and me are having? I mean, if you looked inside what you have, you would have never gone outside and plundered the other ecosystems. You would have told, oh my God, I have enough and more. I don't need anything. I am full of resources. I mean, you have empathy. You've got compassion and mercy and satisfaction, and also enough, you can say, sharing, sacrificing, kindness, tenderness. Wow, you can name at least 500 important resources what you have inside. And also we have the righteousness, justice, ethics. That's a human resource. And we have the best of all is empathy. Empathy is an emotion shown to non-living parts beyond human realm. Compassion can stop sometimes in human limit, but empathy goes beyond to non-human parts. Even it can go to dinosaurs and feel so sad, oh, such a beautiful animal dying. Your empathy goes in the past, present generation, the soil, you show empathy. Jesus was full of empathy. It can go in future also. Oh my God, there are no resources for the future generations. It can go in future. So actually Jesus' whole mission was pinned down on empathy. We thought compassion. It is much more, empathy is much more elevated than compassion. So today, Laudato Si is a document on empathy. That is a deep ecology. Deep ecology. When Francis Assisi called Brother, Sun, Sister, Moon, it's empathy. In empathy, you can go beyond. You can see things which we have never seen them before. We can see connections. We can see revelations. We can see mysteries is revealed. Empathy can do that. That's why Jesus told, lilies of the field and the birds of the air. And he made a saint out of a snake and a saint out of a dove. And he said, don't catch fish. You come after me. I will give you some other kind of work. Don't hurt them. And learn from fig tree. See all these examples and the sheep. I give my life to you. I will not eat you. The Passover meal. Even today Jews celebrate. What is a Passover meal? Let me test your knowledge. The Passover meal is made up of what? The Jews celebrate every year, symbolizing the liberation from the Egypt with the dinner called Passover meal. First important one is roasted lamb, bitter herbs, unleavened bread. So this is the Passover meal. So now Jesus is really empathetic towards that sheep. Why this Judaic religion killing innocent animal which is not at all connected with any sin? That sheep did not commit sin. Actually humans committed sin. But we are killing an animal. Actually we should kill an animal which is killing the sheep. You have to kill that animal. That is the animal which sin. So that is the justice, because humans committed a sin. That's what Jesus told. Liberate them, I will offer myself. This is the justice. Humans committed the names of humanity, I give my life. That is justice. So John puts it very beautifully. Only few days before Passover, Jesus goes to the temple and he sees big business going on. They are selling sheep for the 2 days, the roasted lamb. This sheep is going to be eaten. Empathy. He gets so mad. He beats the crap out of everybody and he throws the tables. Then he tells the sheep, escape, escape, escape. So he changes everything, all the sheep running. That year, no roasted lamb, I think. Maybe they would have joined 100 families together, one roasted lamb, small piece they were eating. That made them very angry. And then Jesus, this man, disrupted our important festival. I mean, we need to put him on the cross. So that is the time they decided to do away with Jesus. Actually, remember now, he gave us such an exhortation to sheep. John 10 chapter. I give life, life in abundance, and only thieves will eat you, and I am a good shepherd, I will not harm you. He gives an exhortation to sheep. But that text, we stole it and we are using it. We are the sheep of his flock. Theology made it, and we stole the text from the poor creatures. So now he goes to the Last Supper, and you find the table. There is no roasted lamb. There is no bitter herbs. There is bread and wine. Simply vegetarian diet. Vegetarian food. Bread and wine. In other words, any religious celebration doesn't involve any violence, any bloodshed. They are burnt offering. Why? So Jesus liberates all kinds of animals from burnt offerings. By offering his own body, he liberates the whole of creation from abuse. Religions abuse these animals. Even today we do that. Sunday means some chicken has to die, some cow has to be slaughtered, some bottle has to be opened, some noise pollution will be there. Christmas, Easter means extreme. Millions of fish has to be cut, lamb has to be. Easter is a celebration of life, but life is being cut and consumed on that day. Francis Assisi feast, we all celebrate and we say brother lamb and sister fish. But after Mass we go and see all the brothers and sisters on the table, already prepared and ready for consumption. Christmas, crib, you go and say, what a beautiful, cute lamb. Oh my God, look at this cow. Everything is already cooked and put it on the pot and pan. Everything is ready. You just visited them in the crib, but they are already on the table. And this is the kind of holy days we celebrate. But Jesus denouncing all that At least keep holy days holy. At least on that day. Why don't you eat on Saturday as much meat you can? Sunday keep it clean. Hindus do that. Hindus, they keep all the holidays holy, but they will eat on next day meat. That's how they celebrate. Holy day means only vegetarian. So, for Jesus, don't hurt animals, poor creatures, and let them live. You live and you let them live. So, He is the lover of all creatures. He never would have hurt a thing. So, even the stones, He didn't want to make it a bread. The temptation. He says, no, I wouldn't do that. That's a violence. You shouldn't do that. Stones, they do a kind of job. They keep balance. They control climate. If I change it to bread, I am interfering with their role, which we have done, brought the stones and put it inside, and then we cry, no rain, climate change, global warming. I mean, these stones are crying out loud, please take me and put under the sun. I belong to the sun. For them it is a imprisonment, as if the stones have committed some crime. You put them in the jail. The land beneath this building, you put him in the jail. The soil would never see sunlight again for another 500 years. But this soil was seeing his beloved, the sun, every day, producing color, food. It was inviting creatures, take it and eat it, this is my body. The cosmic mass was going on in this soil beneath our feet. But offering mass is a crime, and you put him in a jail. The roads, the churches, houses, all human encroachment, we are colonizing and making them. That's why St. Paul wrote in Romans, the whole creation groaning in pain for the liberation. And they are eagerly waiting for the liberation to come. This soil is crying out to Creator, oh Creator, liberate me. The water in the dams, they are crying out loud, liberate me, Creator. And Jesus talking to Nicodemus, He gives you one example of the elements of the earth, the wind. He says to Nicodemus, Nicodemus, you don't know the wind, where it comes from, where it goes. Only you can hear. That says the freedom of the elements of the earth. You can't control them because they are God's manifestation. Psalm number 104. When you go home, read the psalm and you will find out the freedom-filled lifestyle of earth's elements. That's unbelievable psalm. So now you dig your resources. I told you, you have got so many resources here. Empathy. That's why I told Jesus had the empathy. That's the best resources what He gave. That's why even today we are remembering. Alright? So you give your resources now. Pope is telling, stop digging earth, start digging yourself. Now you take and give to earth. Give empathy, you will never touch anything. You show compassion, I think you will hate any destruction. You will never attempt even spitting on the soil. You will consider spitting on the soil is equal to spitting on the face of God. You are not spitting on soil, on the face of God Himself. So because everything is a manifestation of God. So that is human ecology. Pope is writing, technology will not solve ecological crisis, but they are television. It gives you wrong confidence. Technology will solve all problems. And politics will never solve problems as they portray. The last one is economy will not solve ecological crisis as they promise. These three things will not solve, they will increase more ecological crisis.